Very much for coming to this press conference. I think I should explain a little bit about Hormati Suara Rakyat. I think there was a feeling amongst civil society that every time there is an attack made on an elected representative, it is in fact an attack on the voter. And I think we have to understand that. It is an attack on the voter and our choice. Ultimately, it is important that we appreciate that the voter, there must be respect for the person a voter has voted for. Because by doing that, you respect the voter. When there is an attack on an elected representative, it means that there is no respect given to the voter's choice. And that is why we have decided to hold a rally on the 23rd of January. And this will be entirely a civil society movement. This has got nothing to do with political parties. This is the people who want to voice their concerns in relation to what is happening in our country at the moment. Now, there are a series of events, but what has sparked this ultimately was, in fact, the appointment of Dato' Hormati Suara, and that is something that we will be dealing with at the rally. Now, I'm going to hand over to Haris to explain what it is we intend to do at the rally, and he will touch on the statement that has been issued.
Thank you, Ami. Let me first start by reading out the release that has been given to all of you there. Civil society groups and Selangorians have come together to form a Rakyat-initiated effort called Hormati Suara Rakyat Selangor, to demonstrate their disappointment and anger over the appointment of Dato' Muhammad as the new Selangor State Secretary. This group, formed on January 11, 2011, will soon hold a public rally to pressure the Chief Secretary to the Barisan National Federal Government, Tan Sri Muhammad Siddiq Haji Hassan, to declare Kusrin's appointment null and void. At least 10,000 people are expected to participate in this public rally. The Hormati Suara Rakyat Selangor public rally details are as follows. It will be held on the 23rd of January 2011, that is a Sunday, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Kelana Jaya Stadium. Kusrin's appointment is a culmination of the relentless attempts by the BN federal government to frustrate the Selangor administration in carrying out their policies and programs. The fact is, Selangor Menteri Besar Tan Sri Khalid Ibrahim did not receive the recommended list from the Public Services Department. Since this has been revealed, it is only imperative that Siddiq declare the appointment of Kusrin null and void, as due process and convention was not followed. The Rakyat in Selangor deserve the right to expect their elected Pakatan Rakyat Selangor State Government to provide the best services. By denying the Menteri Besar the choice of the top civil servant, the Rakyat in Selangor are also denied their rights. Hormati Suara Rakyat Selangor's maiden effort in organizing this rally is to get the Rakyat to come together to voice their dissatisfaction on the current state of affairs and to show the many instances where the Pakatan Selangor government policy implementation has been sabotaged by civil servants still loyal to their previous political masters. At the rally, we will highlight the many instances where local issues for residents could not be resolved due to the non-cooperation of the BN federal agencies, such as the Public Works Department, Police, Shabas, Social Welfare Department, and the Housing and Local Government Ministry. The issues that will be raised include, number one, deserving individuals and groups not receiving welfare and aid services and allocations. Number two, ignoring measures to relieve traffic congestion proposed by civil society. Number 3, abandoned housing projects. Number 4, rejection of local government proposal to provide auxiliary police personnel to provide security for Selangorians and reduce crime. Number 5, water coupons meant for low-cost flats and high-rise housing not reaching their intended residents. And number 6, arbitrary demolition of traders and hawker stalls and place of business. These are the following groups that presently make up Hormati Suara Rakyat Selangor. Bersih 2.0, Jerit, Saya Anak Bangsa Malaysia, Compact, CGG, that is the Coalition for Good Governance, Malaysians for Teo Beng Hock, GEL or Growing Emerging Leaders, Jemaah Islam Malaysia, the Civil Rights Committee of the Kuala Lumpur and Selangor Chinese Assembly Hall, LLG Cultural Development Centre Berhad, and finally the Malaysian Civil Liberties Movement. That is the statement from the Hormati Suara Rakyat Selangor Coalition.
I would also like to add, actually, that if you all recall, Malaysia Kini carried a report very recently, a few days ago, about the chairman of the Election Commission, Country Abdul Aziz Yusof. And he said this. He said that civil servants must set aside their political views and positions and maintain professional decorum and always remain neutral. He also said it is not wrong for a staff of the state to advocate the policies or programs of the state government. Be it Pakatan Rakyat or BN government officers must be loyal to the state government, no matter which party runs the administration of the state. And I believe that captures everything that we believe is right. And we would like to commend the EC chairperson for the EC chief for having made that statement. Because, as I've said earlier, it is all about respecting the voter's choice. And every time an elected representative of yours is given an unfair and difficult time, then that is time for you to stand up and speak. And this is what this initiative is all about.
On my part, I would just like to ask that the police and the various authorities concerned with public order and safety cooperate with us and ensure that this gathering of citizens proceeds peacefully. As citizens, we have the right of peaceful assembly, we have the right to freedom of speech, and we have the right of association, all guaranteed by the Federal Constitution. So this event seeks to exercise those rights. We all know that our rights have been prescribed by various legislation in the past 54 years. The police have various times said that they have no problem with citizen gathering, but they don't want us to gather in the open. They said, why don't you gather in the stadium or gather in the hall? We will protect you and we will facilitate that. So we're going to put them to the test on the 23rd, and we hope they cooperate. Thank you very much.
Are there any questions?
Seeing as how this group was formed in January, did you specially form this group for the rally's purposes of the rally?
We formed the group to actually look at the issues, to discuss the issues, and one of the decisions that we made after we met was to hold this rally, because we think it's important that our voices be heard. I think it's important for the Rakyat to say they are actually a bit sick and tired of the bickering that is going on. We want the things that Haris highlighted, we want those issues to be addressed. We want bread and butter issues to be addressed. And we want our elected representatives to be allowed to represent us freely, without interference.
But why did you have to form a new group just to address these issues? Couldn't you have done it through your existing groups?
Yes, it is actually a coalition of many existing groups. So it is a movement, and it's important to form it as a movement because it brings into sharp focus the precise issue that we want to deal with. But on that day, we will be dealing, as you know, Bersih 2.0 is about free and fair elections. On that day, we will be dealing with issues relating to free and fair elections. But you see, having free and fair elections is critical, of course. But after that, when your MPs are elected, we want them to be treated properly. And I think that's something the Rakyat has to speak up about. Any other questions? Yes.
Without the mobilization of the political parties, how are you confident to get 10K into the political?
Okay. We think with sufficient media attention brought to this initiative, there are enough Selangor citizens who are genuinely concerned, and if the space is made available for these citizens, they will come forward. They will come forward to lend their voice to this effort to bring to the attention of the authorities, the parties concerned, the grievances of the Rakyat. So we are very confident. I understand your question. Your question is, without political party involvement, can we mobilize? As I said, I believe that a great number of Selangor citizens themselves are concerned, and if enough media attention is given to this initiative, Selangor citizens will attend.
And if I could add, that does not mean that people who are members of political parties are not welcome. Everyone is welcome, so they're all citizens. But we have stipulated that there will be no insignia, party insignia like flags and so on, because that's not what we're about. So as far as we're concerned, everyone who is a citizen is more than welcome to join in this effort. So it doesn't mean that they are precluded from attending. And I mean all political parties are welcome.
When you talk about the attack on an elected representative, could you explain a bit more about that? What do you mean by attack on an elected representative?
Well, whenever we see efforts of our elected representatives being undermined, that's what I mean by attack. Well, that's what it looks like to us in relation to this particular instance, but there are other instances of that happening. You have issues like funding, things that Haris has already highlighted, where of course we don't know where the undermining is taking place, we don't know who precisely is responsible. But I think we need to make it very, very clear to the authorities, to the civil service, that this is not acceptable to the people. And as I said, that's why I read out Tan Sri's Aziz's statement. He says the civil service has to be loyal to the state government that they serve, and I think that's absolutely spot on.